Jake.
And I'm Christine.
And this week we are getting another Friday the 13th, so you know what that means. Today we're going to be watching the trailer for Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And to that I'm like, yeah, right.
It probably will not be our only Friday the 13th that we do this again.
You bet your ass it's rated R. Unfortunately, this is when the MPA started paying close attention.
Mm-hmm.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Friday, April 13th, is Jason's unlucky day.
On the one hand, it looks like it's giving you exactly what you expect for a Friday the 13th movie. An endless slew of kills.
Jason is back. He moves like a shadow. Dark and silent.
On the other, and this is I think a good sign that it was not going to be the final movie in this franchise, you think for the final chapter, they would have put a more explosive trailer out there to really hype it up.
Yeah, that one kind of looked a little boring.
Mercilessly.
Didn't really show a lot, which I like in a trailer, but didn't really make it look that exciting. And it felt like when they showed that those people going through the windows, even that looked a little boring.
Yeah, especially the third time.
You've been screaming for Friday the 13th.
There's like 3 going through window moments in this movie. Some of the kills, as they showed here, the kills actually look better in the trailer than they do in the movie, in my opinion. Because it almost feels like there's a little suspense in seeing the actual kill in the film, where you see like the blade go in. But in the actual movie, because the censors were real trigger happy, the actual blood only lasts a couple of seconds. They show more time of him grabbing them than actually jabbing them. So, just feels a
Maybe
little...
that's why it was less intense.
Just feels a little let downish at times.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Jason, as we saw in that brief clip of him smashing through the door, was a real good Jason, Ted White. Ted White is a veteran stuntman, and he was actually 57 when he played Jason.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he also was not a horror guy and did not want to do the movie. He only agreed to it because apparently the pay was really good. He did not get into the horror convention scene until he was in his 80s, and people really liked to see him, and he enjoyed the horror scene. Like, he's not a big fan of the movie, but he appreciates the fan base.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He never utters a word. He doesn't even seem to breathe. Mindlessly.
That kid who was yelling, "Where's the hell is the corkscrew?" That's the dad from Back to the Future. Really early role. And they don't feature him in the trailer at all, so once again, I can respect them not spoiling everything. But there's a little kid in the film, played by Corey Feldman of The Goonies. And more or less, this little kid ends up being an ongoing character in the latter sequels. Pretty much the only one to do so. And he ends up being kind of Jason's main antagonist. And I know, a little kid being the main antagonist to the 6'5" retard in the hockey mask, but they actually made it work reasonably well. I mean, sort of. In the 4th film, Corey Feldman did a decent job with the character. They used him okay. 5th film, we try to act like that one doesn't exist. 6th one, the character is back, and That's a mixed bag of a film. It's well made, but the character really becomes a bit of an asshole. But, like I said, not the greatest trailer. For a generic slasher sequel, it works, but for the final movie, no, this doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
And this isn't the only time the Friday the 13th films would put the word final in the title. 9 years later, they made Jason Goes to Hell the final Friday. And they still made more after that. We'll get to that movie later as well one day, but my thoughts on that movie and the final chapter are the same thing. I hate movies that put the word final in the title because it's like, spoilers?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's not the final, but you're pretty much giving away the ending.
It's true. That is true. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Why?
Wait a minute, come here. You ever go to school, stupid?
Anyway, this has been the trailer for the final chapter of sorts, and hope everybody has a unlucky but enjoyable Friday the 13th. Maybe binge the movies on AMC or something. And we will see you next week.